Hello people! Today we're going to take a little way back trip to the 70s and we're going to do nails based off of the Partridge Family bus. Why this popped into my head, I don't know. A few weeks ago all of a sudden the bus popped into my head and immediately I said I'm doing nails like that. And I haven't been able to get it out of my head since then. So I had to go ahead and get this done so I can't concentrate on other stuff. So anyway, we're going to have a little bit of an art history lesson coming up here in a while. But I'm doing these on a medium length square set. I've got my nails all prepped and we're going in firstly with a coat of white polish. Now just so you guys know, I have sped up most of the sections of this to double time because some of the painting got to be a bit tedious and I know you just don't want to sit through it too long. Hey, what was I going to say? It just went away. Oh well, I guess it wasn't that important. I'll probably think of it as we go. Okay, those are done. We're going to cure those and we're going to go in with the second coat. Nice thin coats of white as we do not want it wrinkling. And don't forget to cap your tips there, the free edge. Whew. I just came back from my walk to go get the mail. Our mailbox is like 2 blocks away and it's 90 something degrees out there. So I'm a little winded at the moment. So hopefully I'll catch my breath here before we get to anything crucial. Alright, we're going to cure those and now we're going to move on to the lines. We're going to use gel paint, black. I'm using Saviland. Okay, here's your brief art history lesson. Okay, this is the artist. He's a Dutch artist. His name is Piet Mondrian. He was born in 1872 to 1944 when he died. And my smart-ass son already asked me if I knew him. He'll be waking up later after I smack him. But anyway, moving on. There's his artwork right there. He painted with only primary colors, black, white, and gray. He did straight lines and right angles. And that's what he was known for. He was one of the forefathers of modernist painting. So anyway, there's your history lesson. And moving along, we've got the paint on here. And we're going to just paint our lines on. Now they're supposed to be perfectly vertical and perfectly horizontal, being that I am hand painting these, and we all know my hand painting skills are not the greatest. Some of my lines ended up coming out a bit wonky. I tried my best. Now I'm just painting on. What I want to end up with are squares and rectangles of varying sizes for this. And these are just going to be the guidelines right now. Later on, we're going to go over them all again and neaten them up. But for now, we just need to get them on there. Now, as I said earlier, I don't know why this popped into my head out of nowhere. I hadn't thought about the Partridge Family in eons. I hadn't seen anything about them recently. But it just popped into my head one day and immediately followed by, I am going to do a set of nails like that. And I have been trying to, normally I would put designs like that I think of on my list of stuff I'm going to do when I'm looking for something else to do. You know, I have a list of nail things I want to try and stuff. But this didn't get on the list because I couldn't stop thinking about it for whatever reason, I don't know. So I just decided this week that's what I was going to do. Hopefully you guys were not expecting 4th of July nails because I'm not doing any this year. I will be doing a red, white, and blue set on my own nails next week, so you won't get that till next weekend, but that's all I'm doing for 4th of July. I just did not feel like doing the typical 4th of July stuff this year, so I didn't. But anyway, just some more trivia for you. As I was doing research on the artist and the bus, the original bus from the show was sold back and forth to people several times after the show was done. Eventually, it ended up being abandoned in some parking lot where it was sold for scrap. So if you guys are out and about somewhere and you happen to see the Partridge Family bus, just know it's a replica. It's not the original bus, no matter what somebody tells you. Now I'm looking at that line right there going straight down, and it is crooked as heck. I can see it from here. I should have fixed that. So like I said, I'm not super happy with the way all my lines came out. They're not as straight as I would have liked, but I did the best I could for hand painting with my skill level, which could be needing improvement. Hope you guys are having a good summer so far. I'm just trying not to melt over here in SoCal where it's blazingly hot. Oh, we're having a cooling trend coming up. Coming up the next several days, it's only going to be in the high 80s. Woohoo! I think I said this on my last video, but I'm already over summer. I've started the countdown to winter again. I cannot deal with this heat anymore. And we're just still painting lines. Believe it or not, this is sped up to double time right here. This whole section. Actually, pretty much my whole video is going to be sped up to double time, as it did take me quite a while to sit and do all the painting on these. Alright, that's going in for curing, I believe. And nope, we're going to do something else. What are we doing? I'm fixing something probably. Something I wasn't happy with. Decided to give that another line. Couple more. Oh yeah, you know what? Now that I'm seeing this, I think I do remember I did go back on a couple of them and add some more little squares in there because I was not happy with the look of them. Whoops, now that one's really crooked. Please tell me I took that off and did it again. Yep, that one was really a bad one. One thing I found out too is wiping off any of these colors off of this white polish, it left the polish stained. The first one I tried to do, I wasn't happy with my lines at all, so I wiped them all off, and then it was looked kind of yucky. So I went over it with another coat of white, and then restarted painting them. So you guys didn't see that part, but I just didn't feel like leaving it in, even though I usually leave my mistakes in there for you guys to see how I get through them. Okay, we're on to the colors now. We've got primary colors. That will be the red. There's your yellow. And we had to use Makartt for blue. Otherwise, the rest of this is the Clau Beaute gel polish that I normally use, or that I use a lot of the time. I shouldn't say normally, but I use that a lot because I have a lot of those colors. I was building that full set of colors of that brand until the price of shipping went ridiculously high from stuff ordered from China, and it was costing me more per bottle to ship the stuff than it was costing for the actual polish. And at that point I said, nope, can't do it, because these are full-size bottles of polish and they were only $1 something, which for gel polish is amazing. But then the shipping was like $2 or $3 a bottle. I was like, at that point, that just, it's still cheaper than buying a full size bottle of gel polish, I guess, but I just couldn't see paying more to ship it than the product was worth. So I have been, I've got some other collections of stuff, but lately I seem to be collecting up Beetle's colors. I'm just really happy with their colors. Their polish has always been good for me. They always have really nice colors that I like. Now I don't get full bottles because when you get those little sets that they always sell, those collections, they're tiny bottles, but still, if there's a color that I just absolutely love, I will track down. You can sometimes find them in full-size bottles, so sometimes I've done that, but their stuff is even more expensive than what I can afford to spend on gel polish. So I have many, many teeny tiny bottles of different colors versus this brand that I'm using with this yellow and the one I use a lot. Those are full size, but the rest of my polishes are pretty much the tiny bottles. I would love to be able to buy some of the higher end polishes, but I just cannot justify spending, $15, $20, $25 for one bottle of polish. To me, that just seems ridiculous. Mainly what you're paying for at that point are the polish bottles and the decor of that, not the actual polish. So, all right, we'll just make do with what we got. It's not the quality of the polish, but the quality of the artist that gets you where you need to go. At least that's how I'm looking at it. I may not be the best nail artist, but I do my best. And I've learned a lot. Just in the last year since I've been doing these videos now, I have learned a whole lot. I have gotten over my fear of doing a lot of the hand painting stuff that I never would have tried before. Like this set, for example, I never was able to get nice thin lines like that before, so I would have never tried that, but now I can. Okay, I've got the yellow on. We're going to cure that, and we're done. Now we're moving on to the red. I did cure in between each color. Like I did the whole rack of one color, then I cured, and then we're moving on to red now, I believe. I probably could have done all the colors. Since none of the colors are touching each other, I probably could have done them all at once and then cured all at once, but I figured it'd be my luck I would end up bumping one or smearing it and screwing the whole thing up, so safer to cure in between each color in this case. And we have no embellishments on this set, if you guys can believe that. Nothing's getting glued on. We don't have any fancy dancy stuff happening other than the paint job. So all you need for this set is your polishes, your nail tips, or your actual nails, a striping brush, detailer brush. That's pretty much it. And you're good to go. Now, when deciding on where I was going to paint what color on these, when I was looking at his artwork, most of it that I looked at, I saw that none of the same colors were touching each other except for the white. The rest of the colors, nothing touched each other. Now, I did look back at some of it again later, and I did see some of the same colors together. Whoops, I went over with that. But for the most part, it seemed to be just the white touching each other. So that's what I went with. So this is my interpretation of Mondrian's artwork and, or more importantly for me, the Partridge Family bus. I'm guessing that probably most of you guys watching this are too young to know about the Partridge Family or have seen it, but for any of you guys out there that are from my generation, You should recognize instantly this. I mean, that was a hugely popular show. It was on like in the second half hour after the Brady Bunch for a lot of the time. So those two shows, whatever night they were on, I don't remember that. But as a kid, that was like big TV night for me. Oh man, I just made that way worse, didn't I? There were just a couple of spots in the end where, like, see that little corner right there? The red kind of stained that corner, so I did go back in, which I don't show you, with white and repaint that one square so that that red's not on it. But other than that, it's just a lot of patience of sitting here filling these in randomly. Hopefully you guys can't hear my fan. It's kind of making a clicking noise right now. It's just too darn hot for me to turn it off while I'm doing the voiceover in here, so I'm sorry, but you're going to have to live with it. It was kind of fun painting these that I didn't have, like there was no set pattern. There was nothing I was trying to duplicate exactly. I was just, I could just randomly fill in whichever ones I wanted, whichever one I thought looked good with it. Oh, I see I've slopped red on the yellow down there now. Ay, ay, ay. I seem to recall there were a few of them where I did. Now, see, if I hadn't cured that yellow, that would have been a disaster because I would have had to wipe off both of those and start over. And that one, I think I touched the side of my glove on on that red part, so that was a redo. Other than a few little things like that, I really didn't have any problem with doing these. The set was fairly easy. I would say most anybody could do this. If you have a steady hand and you have a little bit of skill at the hand painting, you don't need a lot. Mainly, the main thing is getting the black lines on there straight, which as you see, some of mine are not. But that was the hardest part of this whole set. And that even wasn't that bad. I mean, I'm sure nobody's going to be in there with a protractor or something trying to make sure my angles are all straight, but when they're on somebody's nails, you're not going to notice that. Okay, I think I'm done with the red there. We're going to cure those, and then we're going to move on to the blue. Now, I think I only showed you my doing a couple of these with the blue because it's basically just the same. Oh, nope, we still got some red. I thought I had finished that. Well, this may be the other hand now. And like I said, I have sped this section up. But this brush that I'm using for painting these in is also the same brush I used for the lines. Although I have since then gotten some new striper brushes. I had a set of 3 really cheapo ones that I got from Wish probably about maybe 4 years ago. And that's what I had been using all this time. And when I was cleaning them after I used them the last time, I pulled all the bristles out of one just trying to wipe it off. So I don't know what happened there, but so that had to go by the wayside. I think it's got like 2 or 3 hairs left on it, and I kept it just in case I need anything really skinny lines to paint. But anyway, I ordered some new stripers, so next time I do something, I will have those. Hopefully that'll go better, a little better quality. felt like I could move up in levels on my striping brush now. And now we're going on with the blue. Now I think I only showed you 1 or 2 nails going with the blue because it started to just taking too long. Also, since I'm recording this on my phone, at some point I think I got a phone call in there and it screwed up my recording. So that may be why I cut off with after only 2 blue nails. I mean 2 with the blue. Oh, and another thing is this particular blue is kind of on the sheer side, so I had to put it on there a little heavier. And then also there was a few of them where I went back in later and had to go in with a second coat of blue. I was trying to avoid that because I didn't want to have to do a second coat of all those colors because it would have taken a long time. But as it was, it took me 2 afternoons to do this set. Well, now you can't even see me painting them, but you get the idea. Alright, I think there's maybe 1 more blue, and then that's going to be it, I believe. I may have quit because I ran out of blue polish on there, and I had to go finish them up the second day. So I may have just not wanted to put out any more blue at that depth because I would have been quitting for the first day. We'll see here what happens. And I'm out of shot again. Nope, I am going to get some more. Alright, so we may be on the second day then, I don't know. I can't keep track of stuff anymore. You see how sheer that is? And this is kind of putting it on heavily. So, yeah, some of them I did go in and do a second coat of blue. The other colors worked perfectly fine. You see I've got either a hair or some sloppage on the end of that one on the white. And I'm cleaning that off, hopefully. We can't see it, but it's happening, I think. I should have cut that part out, sorry. My computer's been giving me all kinds of problems. I think it's getting close to dying on me. It doesn't want to turn on anymore. It took an hour and a half to get it to come on this time for me to do my video edit and stuff. So I'm trying to get it all done in this one day so I cannot have to worry about it again tomorrow. And tomorrow afternoon I will have other projects to work on. Just as an FYI, I'm doing a Christmas stocking for my son-in-law, one of my son-in-laws, in counted cross stitch. So that's going to be what my project is for tomorrow. And are we done? No, we're not. I guess I did show you that whole rack with the blue. All right, my mistake. So this obviously is the second day because I know I didn't have time to do all that blue on the first day. Getting in those corners was kind of hard for me on the painting of this because there's a really skinny little pointy bit of hairs that stick out on the end of the brush. So if you get too close to the line, those little pointy bits go over and then it makes little stuff into where you don't want it. Okay, all right, we have cured all of that. Now that's done. That's all the blue you're going to see. Now I am going over all of the black lines again, more carefully this time with black. We're going to neaten up those lines and hopefully try to straighten them out a little bit. I think I'm only going to show you this one nail because you don't need to see me just paint over all the lines again, but you'll get the gist here. And at the end, when I put this one back on the rack here, you'll see the nail next to it has not been painted over the lines, and this one has, and you'll see the difference in the two. Because you might be thinking you don't really need to do that, but I kind of did. So when you see the difference between the two nails, you'll see why I needed to do it. This is also in double time. See, it just gives it more definition. Makes it look a little bit neater. I did go in along those edges, like some of the edges where there's blue and red that didn't fully get down to the edge. I did fix all that. So I know I can see it on some of that, on the blue on that one. There. Now that looks much neater now. Even though some of them are still not straight, they at least look neater than they did. Okay, and that's all cured up. We've got them all done, and we're going in now with our top coat. This is a no wipe tempered top coat. I'm just going in with a regular layer of that. And we're in the home stretch. I think I set out what I needed to do. They're not perfect, but at least I've gotten this out of my head now so I can move on to other stuff. Okay, we'll give those a cure for 60 seconds. Oh, I didn't there they are, all done. There's the full set. If you liked them, please give me a like. If you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Saturday. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm really happy you guys watching my videos. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.